one, a masterpiece. Close to the gods, she's the one, a masterpiece.
Hi there, my name is Andreï and I'm VP of Sales at Aircall. So prior to Aircall, I started my career actually in finance and then founded my own company in coaching and development, which somehow introduced me to the whole startup world, even if it wasn't SaaS and B2B. This is with Aircall that I actually discovered B2B and SaaS. That was more than 6 years ago now. I actually had the opportunity to create the sales team and scale the sales team to the size it is today, which is approximately 100 people spread across different offices, Sydney, Berlin, London, Paris. And yes, that's my challenge every day today. So Aircall is a cloud phone system directly integrated into your CRM or the other softwares that you're using. So think of your sales or support teams, who are usually the people in your company making the most phone calls every day. Wouldn't you want them to every time have access to all your customers' details whenever they're receiving phone calls? And have all of the phone calls directly logged into the CRM with the relevant information, the call recording, the tag, the notes that were taken. That's what Aircall offers in a single plug and play way so that you have no hassle on the admin or IT side. So sales compensation for me is a strategic topic for your company because it's at the middle of course, sales, HR, strategy, finance. It's rare that you have topics that involves all those many teams. You want your sales compensation model to be scalable in time so that you're going to be able to offer a proper career path. Hence, your HR team will want to have an eye on it. At the same time, you want it to be fair on both sides. On the employee side, who's giving their best to perform, but also on the company side, who's actually paying the compensation. So finance should be involved. And then strategy should be there because at the end, through your compensation plan, you can actually influence certain behaviors to actually make some reflex in the way you close your new customers normal or potentially the new norm. And that's why I believe today's sales compensation model is strategic across the whole company. Aircall, when we looked at our sales compensation, we wanted first and foremost to make it scalable. So meaning that we wanted to build the backbone of a compensation model that would be able to be presented and understood by everyone, but at the same time, we would be able to change a few parameters every year, for instance, that would evolve with time. So that was the main change. For instance, we introduced something called the quality closing ratio. And that was something that allowed us to actually not only push sales reps to close more revenue, but to close more revenue in the way we wanted, meaning with more commitment, 1 year commitment, 2 years commitment, 3 years commitment when possible, with more money up front in the way you're going to bill your customers. Are you going to be billing them quarterly, yearly, maybe 2 years up front? For the company, the effect on cash, the effect of closing in the best way possible is huge. So we wanted to make those parameters editable, but at the same time, have the sales team understand exactly what will make them earn more money when they close a new customer. We waited to change and tackle our sales compensation model for something to happen. And what happened is actually we lost a sales rep due to our sales compensation model. We had a sales rep telling us today, your sales compensation model is not aligned with what the market is actually currently offering. And this is why I actually accepted an offer at another company. And this is something I will always regret. I mean, it made us react. That's great. But somehow we should have acted before. So that was one thing. On the other end, one thing I think that we did wrong at the very beginning, when we thought that changing our compensation model would be a quick win, we just wanted to edit one thing, which was push for more money up front. And we kind of like did something in a rush, which led to over-incentivize a behavior that was good, but not like that good. So we had a situation where reps could potentially earn way too much money for an impact that was still good, but not that good. So again, I think it's the kind of project where for us, it took us 6 months. And between us, when you're building the backbone, 6 months is not probably too much. Startups, it's all about taking the most of the people you have. Usually you hire your first employees and you're expecting them to give the most possible of themselves for their company. And that's what will make the success of a company. So of course there are shares, of course there's a stock that you can provide, but your compensation model is what will actually drive them at the beginning. And it's fine to over incentivize at the beginning. It is fine to pay way too much commission at the beginning. It is completely fine. That's what will make some employee stick to your company, to your startup for a few more months and years, and that can make a huge difference in your life cycle of your startup. So I would say make your compensation model agile so that you can actually just edit it when you reach different stages of your startup. Okay, so that's how you will actually leverage it at different moments. The needs you have when you're a $1 million ARR startup is not the same as when you're a $10 million ARR startup. So if you have a compensation model that can adapt to this, that will help you. And your sales reps who are there at 1 million will understand how things have moved, and they'll be fine with actually they'll remember the days where they were able to do 200% of their targets and earn X amount of money, and then how things have evolved differently, but now there's new things to incentivize, there's new behaviors to push. If all of those things are transparent as much as possible, then you actually have leverage your compensation model in. On June 9th and 10th, I'll be at B2B Rocks in Montpellier, and I hope to come and see you. And I'll be talking about international growth across Europe, but also abroad, APAC, and also how to scale a sales team from 1 million ARR to 100 million ARR. I hope to see you there.